Hello, second grade. How are you today? Hope that you are good, that everything's fine with you. Today we are going to have fourth lesson, Unit 5, Lesson 5, Unit 4, Heroes and Holidays. It's in your books on page 200 to 209. In this lesson, we are going to discuss and speak about heroes and holidays in USA, and we are going to learn something about their heroes, who they are, and about their holidays. What is the most celebrated holidays, why they are so important, and so on. So heroes are persons who make difference in people's life with their actions. And hero is a person who has done something brave or important. So, hero, what means hero for one country, for some country? That means that that person makes so big thing, and that country is so thankful to him, and make some celebration one day per year in his honor. And what else? What that mean brave? And that mean that that person fight in war, was a general or good soldier, and in that cases some heroes got a medal, like depend from the country to the country, and or they make something like so important for that country in science, or something connected with technology and so on. So just be aware of this. What means hero? A hero, like it's person that made something that another person cannot make, like who could not make this. It's unique. It's only that person was only one capable and brave and strong to make some big change or to make some big efforts to help country. Heroes are connected with history, and during the history you had so much heroes, from ancient time till some close history, but we speak about American history and about American people. And during their history, we can mention Harriet Tubman and Soria True, and these two women were so brave, and they were heroes when African Americans had few or no rights. So these two ladies, both of them worked to help African Americans to get their rights, to be equal, to have normal life in that time in America. And I will explain you what was happening in that moment and why they were so brave for African Americans. You remember that we were speaking about that English settlers came. The settlers came from England to America and make colonies, and later that colonies become states. But people didn't come just from America, they came from Africa as well. Most of them were forced to come to America, and most people from Africa were slaves. They didn't have any rights. They were like they even didn't have right to go in the same school like white people, and they make so big big problems for them. It was so difficult to live there, to work, to earn for family, and it was so difficult for them to survive. You can imagine how it was hard. They make like big big problems for them only because of their color of skin, and they considered other Americans considered like slaves, lower class. And these two women were so brave, and in that moment they helped so much African Americans to be equal and to get their rights. And American people have different kinds of heroes, and some heroes are alive today. And Neil Armstrong was first person who walked on the moon. And can you imagine this? Like in that time, it was impossible. Okay, how to get to the moon, and who's going to be first? And you remember before when we were speaking about flag, that American flag even is in the moon, and I explain you why, because they were first who get to the moon. So this man still alive, and he's very important hero for American people, and it's important because he explores space for American country. And if we have a live class, we can discuss about some Egyptian heroes. You can advise me, or maybe you have your own hero that you believe, some person. You know, if we speak about heroes on our level, that means that we have some person who is our hero, who is behind us, who is helping us, like it's in our level, but in level of country, that is a person who makes something amazing. So, and the first part of this lesson, we have two brave women who help African Americans to get their freedom, to get their rights, to be equal with other people in America. And at the other side, we have one person is something impressive, and he was first person in another planet. And about other heroes, some heroes came from legends, and legend is passed down through history. The people in legends are heroes, but many of their actions are made up. John Henry, Johnny Appleton, Betsy Rose, and Paul Bunny are heroes from legends. And the stories about these persons are part of our country's heritage. For example, you can see this picture. You see American flag, and in this picture this lady is Betsy Ross, and she was in charge at that moment. You remember the day of Constitution, the Independence Day, and so on, and she was in charge to make first American flag. So just to close, to understand this, some heroes came from legends. Legend is passed down through history. Americans have one very important hero. His name is Dr. Martin Luther King, and he believed that law should be treat all people equally. I mentioned you about these two ladies who helped African Americans, but he's the leader and the person who made a lot and a big thing, very big thing for African Americans is Dr. Martin Luther King. Like I told you, African Americans could not go to the same schools with white people. They were not equal with white people, and Dr. Martin Luther King led peaceful marches and spoke against unfair laws. In 1960, laws were passed to support equality. What mean peaceful marches? That means that a lot of people meet in one place and walk very calm through the streets, and everything was stopped, factories, all business, every work, and they didn't want to move till they didn't got their rights. So this is one of the heroes. He helped country and one group of people who didn't have any rights You understand this? He was strong, clever, and he feel that he is capable. Okay, I can do this. I will make this for these people and for my country. American people consider Dr. Martin Luther King like a national hero. And we have holidays and celebration. United States has many holidays or days on which we celebrate or remember something. Some holidays helping us to remember of country's heroes, other holidays helping us to remember of important events. So for some holiday we celebrate the date of birth of some hero. Americans celebrate the date of birth of some presidents, and they celebrate Independence Day, their Constitution, Labor Day, Memorial Day. So there is really so much holidays and celebration in the United States of America. So each holiday and each celebration are connected with history. So we taking some date from history which is important for our country or for some person, and that date it's important to celebrate. So the third Monday in February it's holiday called President's Day. American people are so thankful to their presidents. They make so much things for American people. And first one, George Washington, you remember him for previous lessons, I'm sure. And I will remind you that he was a leader for their freedom. He helped American people to get their freedom, to finally have their own country, and he helped them in war against English soldiers. He was first American president. He had a good politic, make a lot of good things for American people, and Americans consider him like a father of nation. It's coincidence that another president, Abraham Lincoln, has born the same date like George Washington, and Abraham as well makes so good things, so much good things for Americans, and Abraham is deserved this American country. During his rule, America started civil war, and it was difficult for them. Like civil war mean that one part of country is starting war with another part of country. That's not mean war between two countries. It's war between south and east, or south and north. Can you imagine, like for example, people from south of Egypt making war with people from north of Egypt? So Abraham was very clever, and he kept country strong and make a peace. And very soon during his rule, this civil war stopped. So Americans decided we have two presidents born the same day. We are going to make celebration in honor of these two, for us, very important presidents. Another one important day. It's Memorial Day. Americans celebrate this day in honor of men and women who give their lives for our country. They fought in some wars. They died because of country and because they were loyal. So they deserve to make one day in their honor. For Americans is Memorial Day. You can see this picture under first slide. It's describing why they celebrate this day. Americans as well make celebration in honor of work, so they have Labor Day, and this day we honor all people who work in our country, actually in American country. So it's special day for all people who work, no matter in which position are they, miner, lawyer, dentist, and so on. So this is as well very important national holiday for American people. And Independence Day. We mentioned this day in previous lessons. You remember that we were speaking how Americans got to their freedom and how that happened and so on. So just repeat one more time why this day is so important for them. I'm sure that you remember this well. So let's turn back a few lessons ago. We were speaking about freedom, about that American actually that everything was ruled by English colony, by England. So America before was English colony, and everything was dedicated to England. So they didn't have their own country, and they lived in another country. They were not in England. So they wanted their freedom, they wanted their own country, and they chose their leaders to help them to fight for freedom. And 4th July, it's so important day. We can say that this is American birthday. And 4th July 1776, leader of 13 colonies agreed to Declaration of Independence. You remember that I told you why it's Thomas Jefferson so important. He wrote Declaration of Independence, and it happened on this date. So this day is so important for Americans, and they make so big celebration. It's party all around the streets, and they have like some special events, wear special clothes, singing, dancing whole day. So really it's very big celebration, as you can see in these photos. Like you see how kids are wearing all their clothes in colors of American flag, and another photo showing you how they celebrating at the evening. So it's a very big party. It's so big happening for all country. 4th July. So remember, one of the most important holidays for American people, Independence Day, 4th July, and it's connected for date in history. 4th July 1776, and it's a date when America got Declaration of Independence. Independence, you know that independence means freedom, and the declaration allow Americans to get their own country. Now I'm going to show you short video regarding Independence Day. So watch carefully, and I will explain you a little bit more about this holiday.
Grandpa, why do we celebrate the 4th of July?
Well, you see, July 4th, 1776 was a very special day in America.
1776? That sure was a long time ago. So, what makes that day so special?
This was the first Independence Day in America.
Independence? What does that mean?
Independence means freedom. For many years, American colonies were ruled by British leaders. They had to do what the British rulers told them to do. They could not make up their own laws. Congress leaders wanted to change this.
So
they wrote the Declaration of Independence, explaining why America should be free from Great Britain. On July 4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was approved by Congress. America was finally free.
Hooray! Now Americans
I'm
could
sure
do
that you
whatever they
remember about
wanted.
this, about 13 American
no,
colonies.
dear.
Actually,
America
it
was
English
free
colonies,
from
but
British
now
laws, but they had to make up new ones.
13
Years
later,
later,
it
in
become
1787,
13,
the Constitution was
13
written.
American countries.
The framers of the Constitution had a meeting
Don't
at
forget
Independence Hall in
independence
Philadelphia.
means freedom.
Some
They
famous
were not
framers were
free
Benjamin
before
Franklin
this
and
day.
George Washington.
That's why
Together,
it's so important
39
for them.
framers signed and agreed on the rights that American citizens should have.
They had to do what the
Rights.
British rulers told them
What
to
are
do.
rights?
They could not
These
make
are
up their
things that
own
people
laws.
have the freedom to do.
So they didn't have their own
You
laws.
mean like the
They
Bill of
must
Rights?
do what
I remember we learned about
British
that at
told them,
school.
and everything
Exactly.
was dedicated to
The Bill of Rights were
British
amendments
not
or
to
small changes made to the Constitution in 1791. They were added to protect certain rights of American citizens.
I'm sure
Like
that you
freedom of
remember the
speech
Declaration
and
of
Religion,
Independence.
right?
You've got it.
Why America
And
should be
freedom
free
of the
from
press
Great
and
Britain.
many other
On
rights.
July 4,
So Americans
1776,
have
the
all these
Declaration of
rights
Independence
because of what
was
happened on
approved by
July
Congress.
4th,
America was
1776.
finally free.
This was the beginning of it all.
I'm sure that
And
you
we
remember
celebrate
as
the
well
4th of
this American, new
July
American
to show
flag
how much we
with
appreciate
13
our
stars
freedom.
on flag.
Absolutely.
And what meaning 13 countries and
Grandpa,
finally their
I
got their
think
freedom,
Independence
so
Day is my
they,
new favorite
make
holiday.
a new flag.
Me
and
too, dear.
13
Me
stars
too.
is a symbol of 13 new countries. Actually, before was colony.
Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. Find links to our apps in the comments
America
below.
was free from British laws, but they had to make up new ones.
So they got freedom, but okay, we have a new country, we are free, but we must make some rules, we must make new laws, we must make order in our country.
Years later, in 1787, the Constitution was written. The framers of the Constitution had a meeting at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Some famous framers were Benjamin Franklin and George Washington.
As well, Americans celebrate the Constitution Day.
Together, 39 framers signed and agreed on the rights that American citizens should have.
Rights? What are rights?
These are things that people have the freedom to do.
You mean like the Bill of Rights? I remember we learned about that at school.
Exactly. The Bill of Rights were amendments or small changes made to the Constitution in 1791. They were added to protect certain rights of American citizens.
Like freedom of speech and religion, right?
So that means that they make rules, new rights, that they have freedom to speak for religion and so on. As well, you have some rules and some rights at school. It's the same. Schools have their own rights, and you have your rules and rights, what you can do, what you cannot do, and so on.
You've got it. And freedom of the press and many other rights.
So Americans have all these rights because of what happened on July 4th, 1776.
This was the beginning of it all.
And we
So beginning of everything started 4 July 1776.
celebrate the 4th of July to show how much we appreciate our freedom.
Absolutely.
Remember that freedom is so important for Americans, and they appreciate so much and celebrate every year 4 July.
Grandpa, I think Independence Day is my new favorite holiday.
Dear.
And really believe for Americans this day is so important.
Me too.
Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. Find links.
So this would be end of this lesson. We are finishing soon. Don't forget, you have homework and practice. This would not be so hard for you. This part, it's about heroes. We speak about this at the beginning of this lesson, so just to one time make review. Who is a hero? Hero is person who makes something very important and very brave for our country, and it's very special person, and we make a special celebration in honor of that person. So you can finish this paragraph, and at the end of this paragraph you can design a medal for your hero, or use your imagination. So medal should be round, and you can add colors, different shapes, and so on. I'm sure that this would not be hard, that you can finish this practice. So it's about how you choose this special person, why you choose, and why this person is your hero, and why this person is so important for you. And for example, which day you can choose for celebration of honor of your hero. This practice is on page 38 in your practice book. I wish you a great day. I wish you so much success to learn as fast as you can this lesson, and easier as you can, and hope that we are going to see soon in school. Bye bye.